Yo, what's going on? A Plus's Nerd Mixes. It is your boy Indy Uchiha, and as always, I'm here to bring you the review for Batwoman Season 3, Episode 3, Freeze. Um, I don't know how I felt about this episode. I like let me just put this out here. I love the storyline they decided to write with Nora. Victor Freeze's wife with Nora Freeze. As the episode called Freeze, we had a feeling that it had something to do with uh Mr. Freeze, and it was a direct connection. So the way they wrote the story about her and what was going on seemed pretty interesting to me. But the huge revelation in the show that was supposed to be a huge revelation, but we knew prior because of everything that was going on with the behind the scenes and stuff, and what they let us know through media and all that, is that uh, Ryan found out she had a brother, Marcus, Jada's son. And then we also find out that one of the reasons why Jada really want to deal with Ryan is that there was a family dynamic there, that Jada had an affair and Ryan was born from the affair, but she went back to the family, you know what I'm saying, that she did have with her son Marcus, and that they're only Marcus and Jada are only about a year apart. I mean, Marcus and Ryan are only about a year apart. So the family dynamic is getting shooken up, and it just puts more on Ryan's plate on what she needs to think about and everything. So I'm pretty curious to see what happens with that. But the show starts off with Mr. Freeze's canister of liquid nitrogen. Um, Causes a lot of trouble. You see a man chasing a bus. He ends up missing a bus. A kid has a canister he found like under a bridge, and then all of a sudden it goes off and it freezes the bus. Um, Wonder what happened to everybody on the bus, because they kind of just sidetrack it, you know what I'm saying? Because they're looking for the canister. But I want to know if those kids are all right, like if everybody on the bus is all right. They find out that the GCPD has the canister and that some woman named D stole it. They cut to D, and she kind of like shows the canister to a sickly old lady, right? Um, then they're talking about it a little bit. Like, this group kind of breaks in and kidnaps them. You don't know why. So the bat team figure out kind of what's going on. They end up going to this D's house. They find out that she used to work for the GCPD and she had access to what's going on. When they hopped in and found out that the canister was stolen, they find meds that are prescribed to Nora, and then kind of put two and two together, detective work, and figure out that the two women live together. They end up tracking down the canister and everything to Ace Chemicals. Batwoman finds D, Nora, and that group of people that kidnapped them there. This also where you find out that D and Nora are sisters, and then Nora is Victor Freeze's wife, Nora Freeze. And they go into a little backstory about how she was in a cryo chamber for 20 years, and she was admitted to Arkham. Then she escaped, and now it's something where her body is rapidly aging, catching up with all that time she was on cryo. And all D wants to do is slow it down. So she was actually stealing the container to try to put her sister back on ice. But doesn't happen. The group that kidnapped D wants her boss wants the chamber for some reason, and they're trying to figure out how everything works. Batwoman swoops in. Nora ends up getting away, but the group ends up knocking out Batwoman, and then they put her in the cryo chamber, and then they tell D, threaten her all types of thing about her sister, her and stuff like that. It says show her how it works. So they end up turning it on, but without the liquid nitrogen from the Mr. Freeze canisters, means they're just blowing cold O in there, and she's gonna, die from hypothermia. So you got Batwoman's temperature, her body temperature basically dropping, like crazy. And when she's on the brink of severe hypothermia, she's calling Luke to try to figure out what's going on. But she tells Luke to suit up and go save Nora and D, because she doesn't want to break a promise. You know what I'm saying? Like, she don't want to be, the last thing that she does before she dies is a broken promise. Sophie ends up getting to the Batcave and is talking to Ryan to keep her alive, well, to keep her awake so she stays alive longer. And she ends up telling Batwoman how she's upset that which is weird to me to talk about somebody like this, but it's probably something, you know what I'm saying? It's interesting conversation to spark in order to keep somebody awake and aware. How she's upset that Ryan went straight to looking Mary to, you know what I'm saying, divulge about how she was feeling about the Jada situation and Jada being her mom, when Sophie was the one who did all the work to find it out, which was interesting. And right before Batwoman passes out, Batwing like jumps in and saves her. They hop in the Batmobile. They go chasing down the group. When they get to this bridge, they end up the lady who's the head of the group ends up blowing up the bridge, and you get this cool scene where uh Ryan kind of like bats the Batmobile up and then shoots off and gets ready to go, you know what I'm saying, drive it over the bridge. And then Batwing flies up and takes the canister that has the liquid nitrogen in it and kind of like sprays it down and makes a bridge for Batwoman to be able to get over. And then they finally catch up with the group. They free D, and then the rest of the group just runs away. So it was a pretty interesting episode. I really like the way that they did the lore of Mr. Freeze, because he's been dead for some years, but Nora's still alive. And the way that they use Nora Freeze as kind of a stand-in, you know what I'm saying, for Mr. Freeze, and then the rapid aging and all that stuff with the storyline. It was really, really cool. You end up kind of, I feel like, having a dynamic shift between the team, because the whole time you got Alice and you got Mary sitting together, and Alice is complaining about feeling like she's got bugs and stuff under her skin, but every time Mary checks her out, she's cool. And because Mary is a doctor, she can't refuse to help somebody, you know what I'm saying, that does it. But at the same time, Alice is messing with Mary's mind, you know what I'm saying, like just trying to get under her skin, telling her how she's always a third wheel with the team, how they're only talk to the team's only going to come to her when they need her. You know what I'm saying? Different type of stuff like that, and just putting those little bugs in her head. But by the end of the episode, you kind of figure out that Alice wasn't lying about that, because when she's back in Arkham and you see her arm bothering her, it looks like there's bugs like crawling under her skin. So I wonder if there's something wrong with them nanas that she had, or if you have somebody like Jada, who that's what her company specializes in, is messing with those nanites. Maybe she's spying on, you know what I'm saying, and maybe she knows a little bit more than what we know. I don't know. We'll find out soon. But it does really mess with the dynamics of what's going on. Um, because you kind of got Ryan, Luke, and Mary, who they're trying to put like some type of bumps or like division into their relationship. But Mary does tell Ryan about Luke's PTSD with the suit and the fact that he disabled a fail safe. But with Luke just saving Ryan's life, she kind of like just sides with him. So I wonder what this dynamic of this is going to go through. And then he denies the PTSD, and you know what I'm saying, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he for I don't, because I really think that's going to be an interesting dynamic with his mental health and how the suit reacts to that, because it's going to come down to some really important situation where that he needs to be on his A game, and if something happens, and then it's going to prove Mary right. Another thing you have is the Sophie and Ryan situation, because they're flirting with each other like the whole time after Batwing saved Batwoman, and they're talking on the phone. It's kind of like some remarks on, you know what I'm saying, Sophie's qualities, like talking about she's clever, and you know, the two kind of talking back and forth, or battering, if you might say. And then Luke kind of picks up with it, you know what I'm saying, almost outright asked Ryan, is she flirting with Sophie, you know. And so I want to see where that chemistry leads, and if Sophie is just destined to, you know, be with a Batwoman, I guess. I don't know. It just seems pretty cool to me what's going on. But the biggest revelation in the show to me is when Ryan goes back to approach Jada and talk to her, to try to be kind of accepting and understanding, like speaking from a place of understanding when it comes to uh knowing why Jada left, you know. And then Jada just totally like shuts her down. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want you to be a part of the family or anything like that. And then this young guy, the executive vice president of Centurion Industries, decides to walk in, named Marcus Jet. He introduces himself, knows all about Ryan's rap sheet, wants to know why Jada is hiding special meetings and stuff from her. And then come to find out, this is Ryan's brother, because later when he shows up at Wayne Enterprises, he actually talks to Ryan. Ryan doesn't seem like she's happy to see him, but Marcus is kind of persistent. He knows Ryan is his sister, which he never gave any inclination to that when they first met. And then he reveals that Jada had an affair that led to Ryan. And then he even proposed like a team up behind Jada's back, because he feels like Jada gives this executive vice president thing to him just because he's her son and doesn't believe like he can actually do the work. So he wants to team up with Ryan, beat his mom, and show that he's worthy of taking over Genturian Industries one day. So I want to see where that storyline goes, or maybe it's part of Jada's plan for mass takeover Wayne Enterprises by letting those two get close and then tricking Ryan into doing something that she doesn't want to do. But we'll see what happens. I enjoyed this episode. It was a pleasant watch. I like the stories, how the stories are blending together, and I really like the writing of this episode, maybe even better than the first two. You don't need much action when it's a good story going on. I like how everything's weaving into currently what's going on, and even though they're trying to get the Batman trophies back, those seem like a catalyst to a bigger story. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week, because it seems like somebody might be meeting somebody's family, maybe taking girlfriend to meet mom. I don't know. It's gonna be cool. You guys let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments below. Yeah, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was good for what it was. And whoever it is playing Marcus I love that character a lot. And anytime Mary gets more time on screen is always good with me, because I really feel like the actress playing her has her down pat and should, you know what I'm saying, get more screen time than what she's been getting. You guys let me know what you thought. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow me at Nerd Mix Alpha everywhere. You can stream my music on all streaming platforms. Just search Indie Uchiha. And I'm going to let Adam tell you guys how you can join the Patreon. And I'll see you guys next week for another Batwoman review. We got Flash starting around the corner, and there will be an episode of Anime Assembled up this week. So make sure you guys tune into that tomorrow, 11 o'clock. All right, guys. So until next time, keep it A+. This has been a Nerd Mix. Indie out. Let them know how to join the Patreon if you don't mind, Adam Perez.
If you enjoy our content and want to be a part of helping our channel grow, become a patron supporter. We have affordable tiers to choose from that offer a variety of exclusive and early access content, from audio files for all of our shows for you to enjoy on the road, access to our Discord community, and plenty of reactions, reviews, character breakdowns, and more. Check us out at patreon.com/A+opinions. And as always, remember, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so anytime we drop a brand new video, you will be notified.